coming to moon, when moon is the Chara Atmakaraka or the highest degree planet in a person's birth chart, that can make a person very calm and gentle, and they can treat others very well. They normally have a very calm way of doing things and looking at things, and they can feel or they can be very gentle towards others, especially the younger ones or people younger than them. They can be very emotional, they can be very emotionally intelligent people. They can also, because they are so emotional, they can attach well with people and try to understand others' emotions very well. And they're usually very sensitive when it comes to emotional things, and they can process emotions very well. And these are all if moon is in a very good condition or is at least in a good condition, and moon will generally give these people calm and subtle way to do things. And moon is the natural karaka for mother, or moon represents mother in astrology. So moon can make a person very nurturing, even though they may be born as male, that they can still have the nurturing ability. They may be a good parent, a very caring parent, and usually they can treat animals also very well. So nurturing is one of the good things moon can provide when that is the Charatmakaraka. And psychology, here when it comes to psychology, they can work as a psychologist, they can study psychology, or in general, let's say they are not into psychology and is working in a technical field or any other field. It may be anything completely unrelated to psychology, but they will have a natural ability to understand people like a psychologist does. So naturally, this moon being the Charatmakaraka and moon being placed well, and if is showing any relationship towards 6th or the 10th house, then they can naturally be good at psychology, or they can study psychology and they'll be very good at it. And they normally prefer joy or being blissful, meaning moon is a planet that shows comfort and bliss, just being in a place where you're constantly happy and enjoy things. These can be the traits that a person who has moon as Charatmakaraka can gain in their character. So the Charatmakaraka planet alters our character, and that is the planet that gives us some or the other character of this particular planet. So this can be one of the good things. Like I know this one guy who has moon as his Charatmakaraka, and his Lagna Lord is also moon, and it is placed well in Simha without any conjunction. So his moon is placed well. Moon is ruling the Lagna, meaning body, and moon is also the Charatmakaraka. So this person's one of the behavior was to just lie down on the roof and watch the sky at night, and that would make him so peaceful no matter what the situation is or how difficult phase he is going through. He would just stay on the roof and lie down and just watch the sky, stars, moon at night, and that would make him very peaceful and feel at bliss. It was like he would say he could stay like that for years, or at least that is the way he felt. That is how much bliss, or that is how much joy that simple activity gave him. That is how well he was connected to moon. So it is one of the things, being in a blissful state is one of the things that moon will influence on a person. Even if it is Lagna Lord, it will have some influence, but when it is Charatmakaraka, it will guarantee have a lot of influence on the person. So yeah, and moon is a planet that really enjoyed being in blissful state, being at peace, enjoying good things. So moon will give that particular trait to the person too. So they can be very sensitive, and this can be a very good thing because they can understand things very easily in families, in emotional situations. Moon influenced people are very smart in general when it comes to understanding and processing emotions, and they usually are good listeners. If moon is placed well, then they can be very good listeners. And they can understand sensitive topics which normally, let's say, if Mars person will have a very difficult trying to understand. A person who has Mars as Chara Atmakaraka, moon people will understand that very well, and try to be sensitive and calm in most of the situations. If moon is placed well in a person's chart, that will make a person very calm and very strong mentally, because moon controls mind, and if it is strong, your mind will be very strong no matter what or how difficult the situation is. You will be able to calmly get out of that situation because moon is blessing you. And yeah, you will be very sensitive and very smart about sensitive topics, emotional things. Yeah, and moon can make a person foodie. Now this is a bit different from Mars people, where Mars influenced person would indulge in a lot of snacks like spicy food, spicy deep fried, let's say like uh, fried chicken or something. That is the type of food Mars person would like. Now whereas moon would like, now these taste can vary a lot depending on the positions, but what I'm trying to say in simple words is moon influenced person would like a lot of gentle things, and would generally enjoy a lot of blissful food like sweets maybe, and it can be liquids too. So that can, this is completely going to food topic. Now to bring back to foodie, moon will make a person like a lot of variety of foods, and they would generally like eating, but they don't overeat like a Mars person would. Mars or sun influenced person would generally like to eat a lot, whereas moon influenced person would eat only that the enough amount or the right amount, but he would like a wide variety and colorful food too. Yeah, generally if moon's blessing is there, then and is the Chara Atmakaraka, then the travel bloggers or vloggers, before it was the travel bloggers where they would just write articles about their experience, the food, the place, or the hotels they stayed in, and the way they could travel and things. Now they're vlogging all on video. And they would have a lot of moon's influence because moon controls food, moon controls travel. So, and sharing the experience where emotions are, when they share experience, they're trying to connect emotionally. So that is also under moon. So yeah, moon can make a person travel a lot, or at least like traveling in general, because that can be a very karmic thing. Because even a low wage worker would enjoy traveling. At the same time, a very wealthy person would also enjoy traveling, but only one would be able to travel the world, whereas the other would probably be struggling because of karmic things. So yeah, but the interest would be the same. Now they would have a good connection to nature, or let's say just trying to take walks in nature, in park, and spending time in nature will be very good for Charatmakaraka moon person, because when it comes to moon is all about being with nature, being in bliss, being in a calm environment. So they would naturally like a lot of natural places like let's say, especially water bodies like waterfalls or spending time in the beach. Yeah, that could be a very that could be an activity that would make them feel very happy and calm in general. So yeah, being in nature will be something they would enjoy a lot, whereas let's say a person influenced by Mars would probably enjoy being at the gym or playing some sports, or just going outside and eating with friends and being loud in general. Yeah, that would be Mars influenced person. Sometimes it can be Mercury influenced person too. But yeah, Moon person would generally enjoy where the waters are calm, and where they can just lie down under the sun or something, and maybe picnic, camping would be the thing they would enjoy. Sometimes isolation is also something they crave, because at night everything gets silent and everything goes silent, and that is one of the times when they would probably be awake and just stare at the roof or something, stare at the ceiling, stare at the sky, because that would make them feel calm, because in this world everywhere tamas is present, and these things can slow down the heart rate and make them feel very calm in general. So just being natural, being involved in nature will be very good for this person. At the same time, that will be the type of things they would generally like, as long as moon is not influenced by any other planet. Because if let's say moon is with Mars or is conjunct with Mars, then that person would probably like a lot of action or physical action. So yeah, it can vary a lot. They would like to enjoy being at the gym. So yeah, coming to the negative things. If moon is placed negative, then these people will likely have these traits from an early age. Now, they can become very judging or judgmental about others, the way they dress, the way they are, the way they speak, and yeah, it can be any of the superficial things which we normally see, like gossiping or commenting at others' appearance or these things. Like, let's say, for example, actors in general will need the blessing of Moon and Venus in general. That is one of the rules, because they are the planets that govern these categories. Now, Moon shows gossiping, and people in Bollywood, for example, or even Hollywood, everywhere, they normally gossip a lot, pass comments, and create controversies and gain attention from that too. So these types of behaviors would be one of the negative aspects of Moon. As long as they don't indulge in these things, they can be just enjoying all these things. Yeah. Now, coming to appearance, they will have a strong pull, or they would want to dress well, appear well, look good at all times, look like they're 10 years younger, like being 40, they'd like to look like they were in 25, 30. Yeah, that would be one of the things. They would like to be pleasant and appear gentle and nice, and yeah, always trying to look good would be one of the things they would enjoy. But the negative part of that is they would expect the same of everyone they see. Let's say a person is working hard doing labor, then these people would be judgmental about that person being untidy or something. Yeah, and sometimes they can become germophobic too. Yeah, that is one of the things when moon becomes very sensitive. Yeah, that can make a person very sensitive to germs, or just having getting the hands dirty. Yeah, and they could become very picky. They could be very picky from birth. Yeah, this can be one of the traits they normally have by birth, because when, let's say, a person is born in a higher middle class or a very comfortable house there, this person who has moon as Chara Atmakaraka could start developing these traits where they become very picky about the foods they eat, the type of activities they do. Yeah, some that could make them seem like a brat in general. Yeah, that is one of the things. And let's say they become older, like around 24, 25, and they're looking for a partner, then they would be very picky about the partner. They would want a very good appearance, they would want wealth from the person, they would want the person to be very understanding of this Moon Charatmakaraka person. They would want everything like a dream prince or a princess. Yeah, that would be how demanding they would have in general. They would be in general. Yeah. And highs and lows here, this shows emotional states here. Since these people are very emotional, just like water in the ocean, there can be very high tide, tsunamis. At the same time, there can be very gentle and calm waves. So just like the water, the human who is being influenced by moon being the Charatmakaraka, that person would also have very varied highs and lows, especially if it's placed with an impulsive planet like Rahu or Mars. That can make a person very, let's say, impulsive and very short. They would have a very small burst of energy, and after that they would just calm down, and again a burst of energy. That would be their entire day. Their when they would have like 4 or 5 short bursts of energy. Yeah. So this can make others, like let's say a person who has Saturn as Charatmakaraka, they would probably feel this particular character as very annoying, because they would suddenly have a lot of mood shifts. Yeah, this can be the thing. Yeah, this can happen a lot when moon is weak. Moon, when it's weak in general, will make a person have a lot of mood, let's say, mood swings. Yeah, and if it is also Charatmakaraka, then it has a very strong influence on you. So when your Charatmakaraka is placed negative, trying to do all the solutions would be very good. At least performing 1 or 2 solutions is more than enough for anyone. But yeah, trying to do it is good. Now, moon can make a person very reactive to things, like unnecessarily reacting to very small thing. Like let's say a waiter spilled some spilled some food while he was about to serve, and you probably got a few drops or something on your hand, and they would just start shouting. The customer, if the customer was a moon Charatmakaraka person, and that moon is placed in a negative way or is very weak, then they can react very rudely, and they can be very reactive to such things. When they don't have to react, generally, like blaming the nature, like let's say they walk out and blaming that blaming or complaining that it's too sunny outside. Yeah, these are all the negative traits of having moon being very sensitive. Since they are sensitive, this can react, or sorry, this can develop and become or make them very reactive to things that are very unnecessary. Yeah, and they may complain a lot when it comes to these things, and they can be very gullible. Now let's say these are all not the they don't have the bad traits. Let's say a person has none of these bad traits, and the person is very innocent and calm and gentle. Now this person can also be gullible too, because they're simply very innocent and they've always listened to their elders and been too good, and because they have been too good, they could get cheated, or they could seem as very easy target to people. Yeah, so that can make them very gullible too. And they generally, the person who has moon as Charatmakaraka will generally have low energy. Yeah. Now, this low energy would, let's say, when you see a person influenced by Mars, or who has Mars as Charatmakaraka, would have a lot of energy to do things. They would be more action oriented. Now, whereas Moon person would just like to sit in a place, chill, be a bit lazy, yeah, and they would have a very low amount of motivation to do anything or take any action. Yeah, that could be one of the negative traits of Moon being Charatmakaraka, because Moon as a planet didn't like taking any action and just like to enjoy things. So that is one of the things they may develop. And coming to solutions, trying to be as grounded as possible is very important. Trying to be humble, be grateful for what you have, because generally, as far as I've seen, Moon Charatmakaraka are born into comfortable houses, as far as I've seen, because they need to lead a very comfortable and easy life in general, and they can take things for granted, and trying to be grateful for the things you have is more than enough, and try not to look down at others who are less fortunate. Yeah. Generally trying to speak less is very good, because moon will make a person speak a lot, even gossip or comment. These things are done generally when they let's say when they comment. Usually it's just speaking what you have in your mind, whereas you could actually think for a second or two. Try to think, let's say before speaking, trying to think will be a very good trait to develop for this person, because that then the words you speak will, let's say when you're about to speak, trying to think whether this particular phrase or sentence will hurt the person or not is more than enough, because most of the time these things will be avoided when you think before you speak. And let's say you're intentionally gossiping and commenting, then that is completely different. But yeah, trying to think before you speak will be very useful, because normally, as far as I've observed, who have moon's very strong influence, think less and speak very fast and speak whatever comes to their mind, and they will eventually face the consequences for that too. So it's a complete course of action that is not necessary at all. Yeah, so trying to think before you speak will be very good. Journaling or reading is going to be very good for a person who has moon's influence, because journaling, daily journal, let's say you're trying to write down whatever emotions you feel in general, is going to be very good, because you're letting your emotions flow somewhere. Whereas if you weren't doing this and you were, let's say, facing or going through a difficult time, then you wouldn't have any outlet of to let go of your emotions. Yeah, if moon is very afflicted, that can be very bad. Let's say moon is with Ketu, then journaling specifically will be a very good remedy for this person. Because when moon is with Ketu is cutting off moon, meaning all the emotional joy they could feel is being cut by Ketu, and Ketu's influence will be very sharp. Ketu is seen as a pointy object. Ketu controls pointy objects. So when moon is with Ketu, then Ketu can make a person become depressed or think negatively. Sometimes, in rare cases, show or indicate suicide too. Yeah, if it's placed in Lagna especially. Yeah, suicidal tendencies, suicidal thoughts can also be seen through moon and Ketu being in Lagna. Yeah, if they have just a person who to whom they can speak their mind and be completely open about their emotions will be more than enough. Or they can do that by journaling. And a generally good hobby for them would be reading about psychology, or reading about history, or philosophy would be very good for this person. That will make this person very wise, because they're already emotionally intelligent, and if they read these books, they can become very calm and very wise in general. Yeah. Trying to maintain a balance in life becomes very important for moon influenced people, because they can be very emotional, do things based on how they are feeling, and because of that they can end up losing a lot, or losing a lot of opportunities. So trying to be a bit action oriented, try to gain motivation. External motivation is very good for these people. Trying to watch anything. For some people it can be some workout or something that can motivate them. It can be anything. Try to gain motivation. If you don't have internal motivation, try to gain it through external things like watching some video or something. Yeah, try to maintain a balance. You need this motivation to be active and take the actions necessary in your life. So once you maintain balance, it will be very good for you, because people normally will see you as a very emotional person. And because of that, let's say you are a male, and people see you crying or being emotional in general, this society is built in a way to judge you then. And people normally judge when a guy is trying to express his emotions. So what you can what people end up doing, especially men, is they completely build a huge wall or shell, build a fortress, and try to contain everything. So instead of doing that, they can journal, and because of journaling, they will again gain a way to maintain balance in their life. Because when moon is present strongly, or has a strong influence, like being the Chara Atmakaraka, this is one of the very strong influences in astrology. So trying to let those emotions flow will be very good for this person. Yeah. Trying to not contain or bottling it. Now once you start containing or bottling these emotions, you will eventually burst, because there is a limit, there is an upper limit for us to contain our emotions. So it will burst eventually. So why not just let it flow somewhere else? So once you do that, you will be very well balanced emotionally. And other things, you need external motivation. Very likely, most of the time, these people will need external motivation, like it can be money, it can be trying to look good, look fit, it can be anything. But yeah, to taking action, trying to not judge others, and trying to generally maintain a balance will be very good for this person. Yeah. Try not to be judgmental about especially superficial things like appearance or gossip. Try not to judge people based on how they are born, because some people are born with a light skin, some people are born with a dark skin. It's completely karmic, and they probably have a completely different goal in this life. That is probably their let's say a person who is not born as a very good looking person, maybe that person has to enjoy touring, or traveling the world, and maybe gain experience like that. Maybe that is the purpose of this person. Whereas another person who is born with good looks, maybe that person has to appear somewhere, maybe in media or movies, anything. Maybe they have to be in front of the camera. You never know what purpose each person has, what karmic lessons they are learning. So trying to be non-judgmental will be very good. And reading books is one of the ways you gain these type of knowledge. So yeah, trying to be a bit spiritual, or at least if you are not inclined towards spiritual, try to be a good person will be trying to be a good person will be very good for you. Because when you start judging, you destroy your moon and Mercury in general. If you pass comments, you are destroying your Mercury. And when you judge, and let's say you thought of something, like let's say a phrase like, oh, that person looks ugly or something, then you're destroying your own moon. It doesn't matter how well it is placed. You will either suffer because of that in this lifetime, or it will be karmic in the next lifetime. Yeah, it's that simple. So try to be non-judgmental. Try to focus less on external appearance, materialistic things. Instead, try to connect with nature. When a person influenced by moon or Ketu, in this case it is just moon, because we don't consider Ketu for Chara Atmakaraka. Here, trying to connect with nature, trying to be a bit detached with the external things like appearance, or superficial things like material gains or materialistic things in general. Try to stay away from this. Or I'm not telling you to stop indulging these things. We are built for it. We are meant to enjoy these things. But try to be a bit detached, and try not to judge a person because based on what they have, or how well they are, or what they have materially. Based on materialistic things, stop judging people, and especially stop judging appearance, because this will be present very strongly when moon is the Charatmakaraka, or moon has any major influence on a person. Then it will show that this person will have the habit of judging in general. But yeah, based on other things, conjunction aspects, that can vary a lot. That's why we no human is same. We are all unique in many ways, because there are simply so many things that can alter our character and the way we are. So yeah, try to connect with nature, try to care less about appearance and external things. Now try to travel. Travel will be one of the best remedies for moon influenced person. Maybe travel where the destination is nature dense, maybe hiking, maybe camping, or beach can also be good, as long as moon is not afflicted. If moon is afflicted, let's say moon is afflicted by Rahu or Ketu, then trying to stay a bit far from watery places will be good, because the type of draw towards the water will be intense, and it depends from person to person whether they can handle it or not. Yeah, sometimes you can see people just walking towards the water because it's simply going to call them. That will be the type of draw. Yeah, and that can be dangerous for these people. So trying to travel where nature, the destination is filled with nature and natural things, will be very good. Even to the zoos where you see animals, anything. Trying to be connected with nature and trying to travel where nature is present strongly will be very good for this person. And traveling in general, the act of traveling, the just journey is when you are moving from point A to point B, that will activate moon. So traveling will be good for this person. Just try to avoid traveling when Mars is strongly present or Mars's phase is going, because if Mars is afflicted, accident is generally guaranteed. Traveling will be good. Meditation is a natural remedy for moon person, because they're already so intuitive, they're already so calm, and they're so drawn to nature in general. So meditation, like the type of meditation that would be good for this person would be trying to observe things like watching your breath, like the Buddhist monks do. That is just one of the meditations they perform. But yeah, trying to just sit still, sit calm, breathe deeply, and trying to focus on your breath, the air that is entering your body and traveling and coming out. So just watching this breath is more than enough. Try to do this for 10-20 minutes a day. and if you like the feeling, then you can increase, or you can just go with 10 or 20 minutes consistently. This will make you a very this will make your moon's effect very good, because almost all planets will support meditation, because all planets want you to become spiritual, and they provide you with the challenges or the hurdles to stop you from becoming spiritual, because that is one of the challenges we humans are born with. So yeah, meditation in general will be very good for a person who has moon as his or her Charatmakaraka. Yeah, this covers moon.